Good evening. This is Speak On It. Live and an active opportunity for you, the viewing audience, to call in to speak on the issues we're going to be talking about. Now, today we're going to be speeding. But we want to start off, let us see this piece, and look at some of the stuff that's happening down in Louisiana. There's a flood, but when I look at regular TV, I don't see too much conversation. You can see these houses. This water, in some pictures, more recent pictures, the water is on the roof. I mean, it's amazing what's happening. Bring up the truck, brother. And there are things that's happening, and I really don't want to be insensitive. So I'm going to be careful how I say this, but I have to say it. You know, it was just a few weeks ago when this man was executed right there in the same place where all of this is happening. And all I'm saying is, you know, we have to be careful, people. Sometimes nature, you understand me? Sometimes nature will bring about a situation to get your attention. Now, less than 6 weeks ago, there was a mess down in Baton Rouge. Man, this rain for the last week or so, I would imagine it's done washed that ground pretty clean. Show another piece, man, with this truck. I just want you all to look at what's happening in Baton Rouge, the place where they executed this man. Now, you're going to say that ain't got nothing to do with it. No, it ain't got nothing to do with it. But maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe if these people wouldn't be treating other people in this country the way they do, maybe Mother Nature would show more mercy. So now it ain't just us. It's all of us now. But those big Europeans, they can't stop this. They can't point the finger at this. So we have to pay attention. Now, check. Now, there's another car. Now, just think. Shows the one with the car submerged. That's a whole lot of pain going on in Baton Rouge. Lot of pain. So, well, you shouldn't make the connection. I can connect dots. What the hell wrong with you? I know how to connect dots. And I'm saying that maybe there is a connection between the way you treat us and the way Mother Nature treat y'all. But since we part of that environment, we suffer too. But at least when nature is the one that's bringing it, it don't feel so bad as you just shooting us down like you seem to like to do. So much for that. Young man, show me this. Now I want you all to look at this and just imagine if this was you. When I looked at this, man, his head, boy, this gets your attention. And I salute those people that had the nerve to get off in that water to try to save that car. That's some serious business there, man. This is serious. There's a woman in that car. See what nature will make you do? Say that. Now, she won't let the man go because she want her dog. I understand, lady. She want the man to save her dog, too. And thank God he was able to save them both. Oh, I know it ain't connected. I know that. I pray that it ain't connected. But I just wanted to connect that dot because some of y'all think y'all know more than everybody else, but don't get this twisted. Some of us know a little bit about what we be talking about, but we just ain't trying to put it on y'all. But you can't just spill human blood unjustly forever and nature don't make you pay. Go to the ones with the coffins. There's finna be something else ugly. I surely don't like this here. Because this reminds me of Burr Oaks. Now, y'all remember back not too long ago, we had a situation here where people were doing things in the cemetery that was incorrect, and we had a mess. Now down here in Baton Rouge area, once again, Mother Nature has caused a disturbance. This is a disturbance, man. You driving down the road and they done come up out the ground and they driving next to your car? That brings up a whole lot of questions, man. What did you do that would make Mother Earth so annoyed that she would spit up bodies and have them floating down the road? Oh, no, I know y'all don't want to hear all that. I'm just telling you something. All right, caller, speak on it.
Hey, Dr. Malik.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. This is the thing that disturbed me. All right, there was Katrina. We went through the problem of Katrina years ago, and money is supposed to be appropriated to deal with the flooding. If you look away, the land is in Louisiana. It's like a bowl, and water seeps down because you can't bury nobody below ground. You got to bury it above ground. Now, all that money is supposed to have been appropriated. All these type of problems supposed to have been taken care of. Now, I want to say a little bit something about the president. Now, I understand it ain't good for the president to go there right now because they got to maybe take people off for different security details, and it's going to be a security hazard, all right? But still, the president, even though he had Martha Vineyard, he could have went before the cameras and made some type of comment or something. You know he's sending all the, making sure they're getting the help and everything, but he ain't saying nothing going in front of the camera. He could have spent at least 5 minutes off his vacation to say something about him. Am I right or wrong about that, Dr. Malik?
Now, I had that response, and you are right. But what I read today on something, the governor asked him not to come because I think the president was en route. But Biden had been there a couple of weeks ago, and the governor said, look out, dude, you all just disrupted. Y'all disrupting from what we're doing. And I think part of what happened is Trump went today, and the governor snapped on that because he was saying, dude, you taking away resources to come down here to politics, and we don't want politicians right now. We want support. So I think the president tried to honor what the governor was requesting, although Mr. Trump didn't honor that because I guess he was already doing whatever, so he down there doing woo-woo. But I understand what you're saying. A lot has happened. And whatever was with Katrina, and now whatever is with Baton Rouge, Louisiana, boy, I don't know what's happening. I wouldn't want to be there. They got over 40,000 homes destroyed. Over 30,000 people just uprooted. That means that these people are now faced with something that's life-changing. But that was nature. So sometimes we get caught up and we be tripping on things, but suppose you was that woman in that car where that water, luckily there was people that had the nerve to get out there and rescue her, but she would have definitely not made it. Or that man driving that 18-wheeler, he was just lucky. Or some other people. Or the family of those whose coffins was somehow or another moved from where they was supposed to have their last resting place. And somebody had placed on Facebook, people be making me so, I don't know what the matter with some people, they're just ridiculous. They say, well, God already had them, maybe so. That ain't got nothing to do with God having them. God didn't have them, they was rolling down the street. What was left of them, and what we saw rolling down the street, I mean, God might have the spirit and the soul, but somebody's still disturbed, y'all. Just like folks are still disturbed here in Chicago over Bear Oaks. But I'm going to say back, when you spill human blood unjustly, you say, well, when it's coming to Chicago? Well, I'm telling y'all now, it's coming, Jack. Something crazy coming here because on both ends, the blood from our own and the blood from theirs, somebody going to have to pay for that. Mother Nature is going to make you pay at some point. But I ain't going to dwell on that. So, caller, speak on it. Yes, caller?
Yes, doctor, this is...
Hey, how you doing, Ray?
Listen, I agree with you 100% on one, but not on the other, okay? The one that I agree with you on is about Mother Nature. What we need to say is, watch what you say, watch what you do, because Mother Nature is going to come for you. But the second one is about the president not being there. I recall him being on TV for the flood, and he chastised Bush for not landing the plane. That's how he could have went over right now, until he wouldn't be excuse me, he wouldn't be messing things up. But he got up there and gave a 5-minute speech about Bush. And what does he do? When they cut a man's head off, he goes back to golfing. When you have this done with people dying, that's the bad part. People are dying. And like you said, people coming out of the ground. And where's he at?
Well, let me just say this once again.
So it's good for the goose. It's goose for the gander. And I don't care what, like the guy said that the mayor or whoever it was said, don't come down, he's going to. Well, I remember that it was only 2 or 3 days after that Bush went down there. He's not, the president's not going to go down there until next Tuesday. So if Bush was wrong, then he's wrong. That's all I'm trying to say. I ain't trying to get in no fight or nothing. But you understand, that's why I talk to you, is you understand exactly what I mean. Thank you, Doctor.
All right, sir. I can honor that. I mean, like I said, the governor told him don't come, and he didn't go, but he intended to go. He wanted to go, but the governor said, he would prefer if he didn't come. Now, are there any other callers? Now, callers, speak on it.
Agree with the points that have already been made with regard to the president taking some sort of proactive measure. People don't seem to understand the post 9/11 era. For a president to make an impromptu trip, an emergency trip in this case, to a damaged area that has suffered this kind of devastation as a result of a natural disaster is only going to hinder things. I mean, the people who are there, they don't want a president who's going to sit there and give a speech or wave to the crowd while the Secret Service blocks off all the roads and attempts to secure the position. They don't need that. They need somebody with a truck who's going to make sure that they have enough bottled water so that they have enough to drink tonight, so that they have enough to cook their food tonight. They don't need a president coming in because the president is not the one who runs FEMA. I mean, we did not elect the president to go down to Louisiana and hand out bottled water to people or ready-to-eat meals to people. That's not his job. And the idea that that's where he should go when, in fact, you'd be doing more damage by going in than you would be helping is just absurd. This is the reason we have agencies. It's the reason why we have large government entities that are funded to the tunes of billions of dollars, and it's up to them to go there. He has certainly sent them there. They're doing the job that they can do. Unfortunately, there are so many tens of thousands of people who are homeless that we literally can't find a place for people to live who have been displaced because there aren't enough homes available that otherwise the federal government could subsidize and rent to those people and give them housing. Because when you have this kind of loss of housing, those people are going to have to be relocated somewhere. But again, what in heaven's name do you want from a president? A speech isn't going to feed anyone. It's not going to get them clean water, and it's not going to get them housing. So why people think a president should interfere with rescue efforts and with aid efforts by going down there is absurd. What Donald Trump did today, ABC News broadcast his visit down there. People were asking, why in God's name is he interfering with our aid effort? I need fresh water, I need food. And Donald Trump and the giant media barrage that came with him interfered with those people in that local area. I mean, he had a great photo op. He's loading up people's cars with food and so forth. What people didn't see is how much obstruction that created, and they had to stop aid practices for more than an hour while Donald Trump had his photo op before they could go back to actually feeding people and getting them clean water.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and I mean, I think that's part of the whole flavor here with the governor being very clear. And he was, tried to be respectful that Trump, I mean, you can come. I can't tell you not to come, but I wish you wouldn't. But it is what it is. Any other callers on that? Now, there's another issue. A flashback to 1960-something. Happened in Milwaukee over the weekend. Now, this is something that so many of us have spoken about. And as I listened to the brother and the father and the sister of the person that got shot, show us that picture. And as I looked at, hit the button so we can see a good, hold it right there. Now you see this young man here. His daddy did something I ain't heard too many fathers do. He accepted ownership that, look, this is really basically my fault because I didn't do all I should have done in raising them. I was in and out of the joint. Woo, 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 woo. Then this boy brother said, well, y'all do us like this and da-da-da-da, woo, woo, woo. And the sister said, don't be burning up where we live, go da-da-da-da, woo, woo, woo. All of that. But I want you to look at the picture that we see. And then I want you to tell me would any of that had happened had not what we see. Now, I don't know if this picture is really, that picture, I don't know. I mean, they say that's what they got off of the body cam, but dude might have been holding the piece, but I don't know, where was he at? Was he sitting in the back seat? I understand he had gotten out of the car and somehow or another, whatever. But it's clear that there's a gat in his hand, and he got took out. And as a result of that, businesses was burned up, people was jumped on, all type of craziness, cars tore up. My question is it correct that we use criminal confrontation with the police to get off in destruction of property and other things? I don't know. Personally, I don't see where it add up. Dude had a gun, police run up on him, he had the gun, police pop it. Now maybe he might have had a permit. His brother say they had permits and woo-woo. Okay. But if the police come on the scene and you got a gun, you should be dropping that thing. You shouldn't be holding it. You should be dropping it, because the truth of the matter is, if you got a weapon, whether you got a permit or not, police come on the scene, man, it's going to create some serious misunderstanding. And when you get the misunderstanding, we have to be careful that we don't create a riot situation. Now find a piece when you get to it where Trump. Now, Trump is a loose mouth. Trump be saying things, and I just don't understand what he be doing. He worse than me. I mean, I be trying to censor myself sometimes, but sometimes Trump just say anything. But this I want you to listen to. Then I want you to tell me what's wrong with what Trump is calling for. Let us listen to that. You can't get that up? Can't get the sound? Trump is calling for...
It must be restored for the sake of...
What he's doing is calling for law and order.
But most especially for the sake of those living in the affected communities, of which there are many. The main victims of these riots are law-abiding African-American citizens living in these neighborhoods. It's their job, it's their homes, it's their schools and communities which will suffer the most as a result. There's no compassion in tolerating lawless conduct for anyone.
All right. Now, I mean, we've been programmed. Anything Trump say is a negative. I'm going to tell you. That ain't enough to make me vote for nobody. But it is the truth. The truth is the truth regardless of where it comes from. The man said that he would be hiring more police. They need to be a different type of police. He stated that he implied that he would bring resources. But he said there would be law and order. I don't know who would say there shouldn't be law and order when you have situations like what occurred. What kicked it off? All right, caller, speak on it.
Yeah, how you doing, Doc?
Fine, how you doing?
Yeah, this is James.
Hey, James,
Doc.
how you doing, man?
Okay.
Good.
Now, Doc, like you just said, God got the last word, and then He make it every day coming out. It's they ain't gonna have no more secret because God got the last word. You're doing a good job, Doc. When that be back on Channel 19 again, Doc?
Oh, it's coming. It'll be sometime at the end of the year, James, and just keep catching us here for the next week or so, and you can get in. Thanks for calling, man. All right, caller, speak on it.
Dr. Malik, you brought up Donald Trump. Recently, he made a comment. He said things wasn't so bad somewhere in the second terms of 17 and 1800 for America. Now, it depends on who you are. If you was black, guess what? It wasn't so good for you. If you was a woman, guess what? It wasn't so good for you. Now, in terms of law and order, when he talk about law and order, now, we got policemen right here in the city of Chicago that been on suspended duty for 10 years. They already had 10 years, all right? And then the guys, they've been on suspension for 10 years. By the time the independent review board get around to them, guess what? They be collecting their pension. Now, this is what I mean in terms of how talking about law and order and protecting them.
What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened, man. Well, if you can get back, I hear you. I feel you. All I'm saying is I wanted to put it out there. When they say law and order, I don't know what it means, but I'm going to tell you, if I was in a position, there would be some law and order. I wouldn't tolerate none of what I see happening with you in our community. Please, get out of here. Boy, y'all better be glad I ain't that sheriff. Find me that sheriff, man. This sheriff here, one of Trump's people. I'm gonna tell you, me and these Trump people, boy, we having a hard time because they saying some stuff that I know is bogus, and then on the other side they saying some stuff that I know is correct. Now this man is saying something that I've been saying for years, and people over here, because of your limited knowledge, because of your refusal to believe that somebody other than white folk can tell you something, you just keep making up stuff and accepting what they tell you. This man told the truth. He said that mess, black on black crime in our communities, is a tribal issue. I bear witness. That is the truth. The killings that take place in our community, it ain't just gangs. And even the gang mentality and the gang activity, that's the wrong word, it's tribal. Don't have to believe me, just check yourself. You walk by Negroes every day and you just feel something about them that make, man, I don't like that. I see it every day. Now, I'm a senior citizen, and I can find a reason to take a sucker's head off every day because that tribal energy, when the slaves was inbred, there was a contamination that runs in us, and we walk by each other and we see each other and we just don't like them. So it's easy for us to kill them because they are not one of us. They just look like us. If you think I'm lying, go to Nigeria, go to Africa and see how many of those people are other than color. What they are is tribal. And then you say jungle mentality. He right about that. They act like a bunch of people in that jungle era where the tribal wars was taking place. Now, you want to blame him for saying that. Don't blame the man for telling the damn truth. It ain't about gains. It's about something deeper than gains. It's about the fact that we have not been properly educated about who we are. It's about that we have not atoned. And America has not atoned. And as a result of that, Mother Nature and other things in the community and in society is just exposing us. But if you was part of the Olympic fight, all right, Carla, come on. Then I'm going to get to that last point. All right, Carla, I want you to get in. Yes, Carla.
I brought this up about 2 weeks ago. When you look at the city of Chicago in terms of the crime and everything, there's a reason for that. When you got drugs, it's like Chicago, like the distribution for drugs all through the country. We got drugs coming here through Midway, O'Hare, Interstate Highway, the Great Lakes and waterways. And when you got drugs coming, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. When you got drugs in the Midwest, a $3 billion industry. And I want to say this as well. You got people making money off of other people's misery. Now, I'm not giving nobody no excuse. That's the reason. That's the reason. I keep saying that.
And you're right. I mean, there is no secret that the conditions that we face are conditions that we could actually resolve some of these conditions if we were facing. But we ain't doing that. But now there's one last piece I want to end with. And that is, imagine, just imagine, had any of them colored girls, yeah, I'm going there. Imagine had that been Simone. Imagine had it been Gabby. Show me this. Show me them pictures there. And then I'm going to wrap it up. Show me these boys over there. Now these boys here lied. But they a little privileged, I guess. But had those been some colored people, Lord have mercy, they'll be through forever. Those are the reasons a lot of that stuff is happening in our society. It's because you put it in people's faces and you think we're supposed to swallow it. Until next week, we out.